like ball bags. The South got something to say, and all y'all can't get y'all ball back. If I ain't a hot boy, then what do you call sacks? Daddy fact, y'all never ball back. Like clocks in the wintertime, we stay eating like it's dinner time. Been feasting and feasting big, but it ain't no rhyme. We don't know the meaning of drought, cause we keep it so wet, boy, I swear now it's been a while. Just speaking in general, boy, there is no formidable.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this...
All right, Larry, after an off-season of questions, football is back here in the East Bay and Oakland, California. Today, it's a matchup in the AFC West between the Denver Broncos and the Oakland Raiders. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They go play action here on first down. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this would...
And now nothing but green ahead of him. And he'll be down deep into Oakland territory. A big play there on the catch and run. And even 50 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have it.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Derrick Henry, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Broncos take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Building confidence after a loss, that's a good way to do it. The loss last game, but first drive here in this one, cashing it in for 6.
And they can talk all they want about putting a loss behind them. I think that drive there did more than any conversation they had, don't you think?
That's exactly right. Puts that to bed. And this is what they said all week long. A lot of things they needed to do differently. Whatever they said appears to have worked. He's got daylight past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he is going to lose yardage here. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
But forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Here's Keenum. That one brought in by his tight end, Adam Shaheen. And he's able to get this one up to the 45-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched the ball last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll make it a second down. Henry out of the pistol. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
So when you call a corner blitz, what a lot of teams call a cat blitz, you're expecting to come after the quarterback, but in this case,
and the Raiders have got him. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The first update from Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. Now a play fake here on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Payne. There he goes, right side. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there. 91 yards. And the Raiders have taken the lead. So from back deep in their home territory, all the way into the end zone. Do you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance, because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a...
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
On second down, here's Henry. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A nice job there as he rumbles for 9, and it'll be back to a 3rd and 3.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. They'll try to run for the first with Henry. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs, and let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And he finds finds a man with a crossing route. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A big play there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6.
I know Paul Revere talked about by land or by sea, right? You know, 1 by land, 2 by sea. He didn't mention air because right now we're seeing a big-time performance, aren't we? That's 2 touchdowns so far in this game.
Where'd you pull that one from?
And, you know, every now and then I actually listened in history class.
And you're just a scholar all the way around. You're reading all the time. I like that you fit that into the broadcast.
You know, I just grab a nugget when I can.
This one taken from the 7. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. DeAndre Hopkins and the rest of the offense heading back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game.
I think if they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. Again, it's Henry. And it's still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Derek Carr getting set and ready to go again on offense here. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and fling him on the field, folks. He wants that type of celebration.
A big play that time for the Raiders. 53 yards. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. Carr now on first down. And his throw here is incomplete.
Well, he kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And some room to maneuver. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a second one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go into a season with a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. Then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. The Bronco offense now set to come back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. On second down, here's Keenan. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The Broncos on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is third down and 12. The give to Henry. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. The Broncos send out their punter now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And he'll take this in at the 1-yard line. Might have needed just one more block as it stands. 37-yard return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10. So out come the Raiders. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they've sequenced things, how it's run. But you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime.
That was a nice pickup, some chunk yardage there. Some of those big yards downfield with a little bit of rack thrown in there, a little run after him.
And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Raiders add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This one taken from the 7. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down. Out of the gun, Keenum. Shaheen, the tight end, on the right side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. That one good for 13 and a Denver first down. On first down, it's Keenum. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Broncos cut into that lead.
Well, that touchdown certainly helps, but they've got to go ahead and convert, get to the half, and figure out how to keep chopping down this lead in the second, don't they?
Yeah, they still need to regroup, and they still need to end the second quarter strong. A little bit of time left. Around the NFL, second quarter in Santa Clara. And early on, the driver's seat belongs to the Seahawks. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now a handoff as they run left side. And just shedding him off there. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
And now here's a carry heading left. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. The final shot here before half for Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And he fires one incomplete. So we've reached halftime here. Now you folks don't know what you're missing. You're missing Larry Ridley. Ready to get back, though, to this Week 2 matchup. Let's get to it. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
So a good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop him. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Shaquille Barrett in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
They do go for it. It's Carr. Forced out to his left. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Broncos are going to get the football back in great field position. Well, Charles, I guess the only thing I can think there is they've got a 3-score lead, and they're saying, we're not going to lose this, so let's have some fun. I don't know why you go for it.
I think that's as good an explanation as any, and we all know that certain coaches are more aggressive than others. That call to me, the fantasy people loved it, right? Anybody who's going to touch the ball, gain yards, maybe put more points on the board, they're happy that they kept it and did that. So, very interesting deal there, but I'm with you on that one. Maybe he just says, what the heck, we can't lose. Let's go ahead and keep trying to win or add to our lead.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Let's go! 3-19!
Working from the gun, Keenum. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. And he'll be knocked down sideways at the 16. After a gain of 5, they'll wind up being about a length of the football short here on 3rd down. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Deep.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Broncos get a bit closer. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the 3rd quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And now Oakland ready to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
He'll buy some time right. His throw incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. And the Broncos get there and take him down. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller, able to drop him for a loss of 12, and it'll be 4th down. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Able to avoid him at the 40, and then he goes with a juke. And Denver getting set to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Keenum now to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Oh, free safety blitz. That can be a gamble, but it proves fruitful there.
Yeah, you're exactly right about the gamble, because oftentimes the free safety is the last line of defense against a long pass. And when he comes at the quarterback, he better get home and make the play. Otherwise, a big play could result for the offense.
And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off. Back now in the East Bay. It's the Broncos trailing, but they do have possession of the football as we begin quarter number 4. 3rd and long. It's Keenum. Quick throw that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Ron Rivera, the gambling type, but he comes up empty here. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Oakland ready to take the field. Now, the previous drive they punted, but that was just the first time they've had to do so in this game.
And when they turn on the game film, the coaches will rant about this, right? They'll say, oh, God, we got to move the ball, guys. We can't punt the ball away. But they have to keep smiles off their faces, because that's the first time in the game they've had to do so. They've moved it quite well. They'll overall be happy with what they've seen.
Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge. Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well.
Time running out here on the play clock. On the give, this is their fullback. A pretty nice, strong run, but can't break away. Down just inside the 30. They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. It leaves them with 3rd and just a yard.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And no doubt what they're looking to do is just salt away the final couple of minutes and escape with a win. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. The give to the fullback on the dive. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. The Raiders on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. And he will have the first down inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. Game in hand, the offense takes the knee. The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. The offense on 3rd down, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Carr down to a knee, and that ought to just about do it. And well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. They are on to the 4th quarter now, by the way, in St.